Alright, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to put a stack type filter on this 51 Husky, or 50 Husky, not 51. We're going to try to put a stack type filter on it. I'm having some issues with it wanting to die out at wide open throttle, so long as the filter's still attached and the top cover's on. And what I think the culprit is itself is the filter right here, where it likes to where the choke, how it operates. I think it's actually sucking that in. So I'm going to attempt to do something with that. Make sure my carb's still tight, and it is. And I may end up cutting a Husky 51 top cover up, because I really don't want to cut up that fairly nice 50 cover. I'm going to use one of these little filters here if I can. If I can even get it on there. They're about the same size, so I may not. I'm gonna try to cut some of that material out. See if I can get it to stretch anymore. I'll be back. Alright, so I got the filter to go on. I took out quite a bit of material there. Got a lot of projects going on at one time. Guess that's just the way it is some days. But I'm going to end up getting, like I said, probably one of my 51 top covers, and just taking the 51 top cover and setting it on there and cutting it out. So I really hate trying to wreck something that's hard to get. I think the 55, 51 top covers, they're pretty readily available everywhere. And I still haven't forgot about the 390. I've got a couple more things I want to do to it. Namely, cut the base on it a little bit. I've got to get that done. But anyhow, see if I can't get you where you can really see this. Yeah, you can see that. So I've actually got her opened up enough where she just slips right on there now. I'll just go ahead and pull that clamp and put it over there. Now we're on pretty good. I'm going to flip that clamp around, take my screwdriver, and just tighten up this clamp. And that should be enough to hold her on there. Then we'll go out and probably next couple of days make some test cuts with it and see what happens. Hoping for something pretty cool here with that little filter there. That's a pretty cool little setup. Got to click my camera every now and then just to make sure it's still on, still recording, because I have had these things that shut off. They're not a really expensive camera, they're a fairly cheap one. But anyway, got the filter mounted on there. I'm gonna go get a top cover for 51, and I'll be. Alright, so I actually got the roughest cover that I've got. I still want to retain some of the cooling properties and stuff, so And it looks like I'm just going to have to cut the whole back side here out. So I'll get me a marker and we'll just start cutting on her, I guess. Now I don't really want to take no more off than I have to make this happen. But that's kind of what I got out of my mind right now. Which I think that'll work. I don't know until I cut it out. Alright, so we're going to test fit it. Probably won't work the first lick. And it's not going to. I still need to come up a little higher. But everything else kind of works, so. It's going to doodle me a little bit more right there. And hope that's enough for it to go down. I'm not professional at none of this right here at all. Alright, so I cut it a little bit more. And we are to the point that it will set down on there. Filter kind of moves a little bit, so I'm guessing I probably need to take just a little bit more off in this area right here. So I really don't want it to push down that filter very hard. I really don't want to touch it at all. So now I'll just cut that right there out and be back. Okay, I think I actually went, well no, I didn't go way too far. She's done pretty good there. So I'm going to take the screws out of the 50 cover and run them over here on this 51 cover. It's got to be a little bit better setup, and I know it's still gonna struggle a little bit, but you know, par for the course, I guess that's what you call it. I'm just getting the screws out right now. So I'm going to swap all the screws around. Filter still wiggles, so I'm happy with that. And right now, this saw, I've only put 1/10 of an hour on it. I put an hour meter tachometer on it. Not that necessarily it needed the hour meter, but that's what it got anyway. Because I kind of was curious about what kind of RPM I could get out of it. And as of right now, it just kind of got what I've got. which not necessarily impressive, but in the same sort, it still kind of is impressive. The amount of RPM that I've actually got out of this, because they ain't known to be very fast. And I know y'all guys have seen it already on video, where I just made some test cuts with it, with no filter or anything on it. And it actually done pretty good in the test cut videos, but I'd prefer to have a filter on it of some sort. And looking back, I probably could do something a little different down here, but yet again, it's really tied up against the trigger assembly, and I don't know how starting this thing is even going to be at this point. And right now, all I've got is just one of these real cheap tacks that got an air meter and kind of shows me what the RPM is. Thing about just taking a couple screws and just, pinning her right there, right now. Still got a lot of cord here. Yeah, I'm thinking about just pinning it right there, right now. Let me get back with you. So I decided just to mount it down with one screw and just let it sit there. I don't know how starting it's going to be. I do know I got an awful lot of cordage here that probably don't need to be hanging down. So let's take it and just wrap it up around here to the handlebar right now, because I don't think I'm going to send it with the tack. It's just something I want to use as a reference. Which I wish I had a tack it read a little quicker, but I'll just use what I've got till I find something better. I was pretty good about 3,000. Quite content with that already.